We've talked a lot about how ninjutsu needs to be practiced in secrecy and how it needs to have that idea between, kuden, that mouth to ear type of thing, or, in person, and have that feeling between teacher and student and that sort of thing, right? So I'm going to read you a quote that kind of goes along that line, but I want you guys, again, we're going to step away from the 15th century mindset, and why does this still have to be true today? There's a lot of people that like to argue and say ninjutsu should not be secret anymore. Well, because the Bansenshukai is out there. Well, to me, that's an irrelevant argument. I think it still should be between teacher and student, which is why I've never put the stuff out there like that. You know what I mean? That's why I don't show the scrolls to people for that particular reason. But let's read the quote, and then I want you guys to give me your feedback on how you think this applies today and why it applies today. Shinobi no Jitsu has been mentioned in various writings, but in a way, you should not try to make ordinary people understand the principles of the art, as the principles are beyond the reach of their intentions. That's the quote. So think about that. Saying, you shouldn't teach this to, ordinary people because the principles are beyond their intention. What I think is when he uses the word intention other than understanding, he didn't say you can't teach it to ordinary people because they don't understand it. He said because of their intentions. It's beyond the reach of their intentions. Meaning it's beyond what they would even do with it. So why do you teach it? Because what's going to happen is, if I do a technique in front of someone, if let's say we're working on swordsmanship, and as we've previously talked about in the Bansenshukai, it says the principles of swordsmanship are the same as the principles of ninjutsu, right? We've talked about that as well. If I do a sword technique, and I do the sword technique in front of someone that's like a yellow or an orange belt, I do the same technique of someone that's a brown belt, and then I do the same technique in front of someone that's a black belt. All three of those individuals are going to get something different based on the information that they already have, taking in the new information that they see. So if you're teaching or you're going to talk about ninjutsu to an ordinary person who's not ninja, they're not samurai, what you're talking about is beyond their intentions. They're never going to do it. They're not going to grasp it. Because you know what I mean? So you can't do that. It has to remain in the group of the people that's going to use it. Because if those people that you just throw it out there, willy-nilly to everybody, the other people will get it and then abuse it and then make it something that it's not. Like we don't sell, some of these martial art organizations sell, buy the book, all the requirements up to black belt, all the requirements to second degree, all the requirements to third degree. We don't do that. You get the new pages when you graduate your level. Some of these martial organizations, you could buy all the DVDs up to 5th degree black belt or something like that. We don't do that. Here, you buy level 1. If you pass level 1, you can buy level 2 if you'd like. But I'm not going to sell you level 2 until you pass level 1. Because I don't believe there's any honor in that. That's where I disagree. That's a disagreement. That is not a choice. I disagree with other organizations because they believe that they can give the information away for money. I believe you should earn the information through hard work. So there is a fundamental disagreement with me and the other ninjutsu organizations. Nobody's going to pay me $1 and I'm going to give them information about our training. Do you catch what I'm saying? So now knowing that, if you look at the way that other organizations work, and they say buy all the DVDs up through master level or something along those lines, and there are organizations like that in all martial arts, whether it's karate do, aikido, kendo, judo. Lots of martial organizations do that kind of thing. But my point is, those people that do that, they clearly are not putting weight on the information. They're making the information just anybody can have it as long as you have money. I'm not doing that. And I think when I read this particular statement from the Bansenshukai, I think this statement applies to things like that. Because now thinking about that, these organizations that just throw all that information out there to anybody, people who's never even put an ounce of sweat on the floor can put their Visa card in and buy all their DVDs from somebody's ninjutsu organization through master level. You can't do it here, but other organizations do that, right? So now, knowing that analogy that I just said, think about this. Again, the quote. Shinobi no Jutsu has been mentioned in various writings, but in a way, you should not try to make ordinary people understand the principles of the art, as the principles are beyond the reach of their intentions. You catch what I'm saying? So clearly, people don't understand, the people that do those things, they're not practicing the historical truth of what it was meant to be, or they wouldn't be doing the things that they're doing. Here we stick to that.